vibrant city like Hong Kong has the power to bring creative and innovative minds together. And with a population of over 7.4 million people, the diverse talent pool is always hungry for more knowledge. In this episode of DB, we're stepping into the digital landscape to explore AI technology and cybersecurity. Let's first check in with Darren in Admiralty to see what's going on.
The year 2022. Let's be honest, guys, we thought we'd be better than this. I mean, why don't we have teleportation or flying cars or, most disappointingly, lightsabers? But we do have artificial intelligence. I mean, look around us. It's everywhere. In our cars, in our homes, on our wrists. Countless books and films are based on the topic of AI as well. So when AI isn't trying to talk to us or beat us at chess or end humanity, what else can it do? Let's find out.
As a tech hub, the city is filled with professionals who are finding new ways to enhance our daily lives. Can't wait to see what's new and in the brewing. Who are we speaking to first? Darren?
So today, Laura, I want to ask you about AI technology. I mean, how do you see that in the world? You know, overall, do you think it's a good thing? Is it making our lives easier?
Of course, I think so, because the development of technology will make life more easier. For example, Hong Kong should be an innovation hub and smart city. As a smart city, I believe that technology, especially AI, can help our living, our life more easily and comfortable, especially to the little person like disabled.
Yeah. So what about the AI landscape in Hong Kong? I mean, do we have the talent for it?
I have to say that we have a very good foundation. But that means we have still room to improve. For example, 5 universities in Hong Kong are listed top 100s.
In the world, right?
Yes, yes. Also, another data shows us the patents in Hong Kong are the top in Asia.
So it's a lot of invention, a lot of talent.
Yes.
But, I mean, are there any weaknesses? Because obviously we're not up there.
We have a very good university. We are good at R&D. So we are good at from lab to the product.
Yeah.
However, we are still not that good at from 1 to n. That means we are good at from 0 to 1. But nowadays, we need to put more efforts to from 1 to n. That means to commercialize, to transfer the innovation idea, the technology into daily life, into the society need.
Yeah. And how do you guys sort of encourage that and support that to help them out?
One of the ways is to help develop more startups. So I'm very glad that this year in the policy address, I can see that government put a lot of the efforts and supports to the innovation and the startups.
Anything that excites you particularly?
Yes, I can see AI, as mentioned, apply to many sectors. For example, healthcare. We can see many telehealth, and then you can see the AI application in the healthcare sectors. And another example, education. As you know, because of the pandemic, we have many classes to put online. And then we have some AI technology to train the student for presentations.
Yeah.
And also, I can see some startups to change the chemistry lab environment into AR and VR environment that helps them, even though cannot go to the school, but still doing the testing lab.
The practical stuff.
Yes.
All right, that's very clever. So Desmond, let's get straight to it. What is the mission and vision of the company?
Our vision is to solve all the problem, all the trouble for driver, especially the car accidents problem.
Okay, and how are you guys solving that?
Are you a driver?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I'm also a driver. And I remember when I first drive my car, I always face some accidents.
Yep.
I may sometimes hit the wall when I park my car. Sometimes I also have experience to hit another person's car.
Yeah.
And I think that is something everyone in every city, any driver may face as well.
Yeah, definitely. Once in a life.
It's always frustrating when you face the accidents. You don't know what to do. You may argue with another driver, and you don't know how much it will cost to repair the car. So that is something I think AI could enter and address this problem. The whole accidents process is quite long. You argue with another driver, you take your car to the repair center. Sometimes you may even don't know what repair center you can find. And if you file an insurance claim, that would take even 3 to 4 weeks time. So what our AI is trying to do is to streamline the whole process. With the AI, we can inspect the car. We can understand how serious the damage is. We could understand how much it would cost to repair a car. But we could also refer the driver to our repair center partners. So that is what we are trying to achieve.
So it all sounds very smart, right?
Yep.
But my question is, why did you guys pick Hong Kong?
Our whole team are in Hong Kong, and we know the market better than other cities. So we start from Hong Kong. But even in Hong Kong, for the size of the market, we got 900,000 vehicles in the city. And every day there are around 40 accidents happening on the street. So we can see always there traffic congestion. What we're trying to achieve for the AI, we can provide a quick settlement solution. They can just use our app to scan the car damage, get our AI report to understand how serious the damage is and how much it will cost to repair the car. And we refer all the repair center in Hong Kong, all the district to them, so that they could get a quotation in one day and settle the case, e-sign the settlement form with the driver.
What else are you guys working on in terms of the tech?
Besides the AI, we are also developing our dash camera that could be integrated in the car and integrate with the mobile app. And the special part is that doesn't only record the video, we also trying to reconstruct the whole accident scene for all the driver. If they're really involved in the car accident, we can understand how serious the damage is. We try to capture the impact force of the accidents.
Right.
We also understand the change of speed of the vehicle during the accidents.
Yeah.
So it could be better for the driver to understand the situation. Yeah.
But a lot of people are worried about privacy. So you talk about a lot of scanning, taking pictures, and maybe videos in the future. You're going to get people's license plate and all that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
So how do you guys meet that challenge?
We follow the EU data protection standard, and for all the photos data that we collect, we only use it for internally during the claim process, during the analysis process. After it, the system will delete it. So that is how we protect the privacy for the driver.
So Wilson, please explain to me like a 15-year-old, how does this AI technology work?
So the whole process is like with the app you're just trying to take the picture of the car, and then the image will actually automatically send to our server, and then with the results we actually calculate from the server, it will send back to the client, and the client will receive the image from the server. And then the client itself will have the detection on the phone, and then they will decide if this kind of damage is actually stated as it is. For example, if it's a dent or if it's a scratch damage, and then they can decide the final decision. Or if they actually think that our server might have missed out some kind of damage, they can send us feedback. For example, they can circle the damage that we missed out, and then they send it back to the server to us, and then we'll try to form a report, and then they will know in the terms at the scene that this kind of damage on the car, how much they cost the car to fix it.
So the dents on the image, if you miss them, the users can tell you and say, you missed one here, and is that a way to improve the AI?
Yes, as well, yes, because it's like this kind of data collection as well. It's like immediately from the user's feedback, we know what kind of things we might have missed on the server. So this kind of is like a feedback for us to improve our model as well.
Your AI basically identifies scratches, dents, any damages from a photo.
Yeah.
That sounds easy, but I mean, what sort of challenges did you guys have to encounter?
The AI model is actually just using the image to recognize all the damage on the car.
And it's not 3D, right?
Yeah, it's not. It's just a 2D image. So our model, our server itself is actually looking at the image. It's just looking at the same image, just like what we usually look at the image.
Yeah.
The data we can obtain from the same image is very limited to the image itself. For example, sometimes we encounter some image, the reflection itself looks very, very similar to a dent. And then it's like our model will be confused with this kind of image. Later on, we can actually change the image in the video itself. As a human, although we can actually look at the video very, very smoothly, but we might miss out a lot of information because like our brain itself, the calculation power is limited. But with our AI model, if we have more calculation power, it can actually eventually do a better job than human itself.
Artificial intelligence is good at processing things, but it feeds on a lot of data. And that's what people say big data, right?
Yeah.
So does it get to a point where we don't need people anymore because they are so smart at what they do?
We can actually treat like the programmer itself is just like a teacher teaching our students the AI as a student, and then the student is actually absorbing a lot of things from the human, and then they will learn while you're teaching them, right? As a student, you might actually getting better and better, and then eventually you might beat your teacher as well.
Yeah.
But do you think that the student itself need no more guidance? Maybe not, because like the teacher can actually teach more things that the AI might not initially know. And then the student itself will keep on learning and learning. That's how the future of the AI is heading into.
Well, my brain is tired. Those were some very smart people that I spoke to today. And as a person who loves convenience, it was revelatory to see that AI has such practical application. And I'm very optimistic about its future in Hong Kong because I can clearly see there is talent and the right network to support them. So do I think AI will take all our jobs in the future? Well, not exactly. I think our roles will change and our jobs will become more important because we will have to learn how to use AI well to have a brighter future.
We're back. Let's check in with Ivy, who is in Central.
When I think of hackers, I imagine someone in a big black hoodie typing furiously away at the computers. Or in movies, you can always count on a hacker to get past those nifty security protocols. Well, in reality, our world really needs cyber experts, these so-called white hat hackers, in order to protect the public from cyber attacks of all sorts. I'm here at a convention that has brought together cybersecurity talents in one place, not just to hack for fun, but to financially secure their future careers. Let's hear first-hand insights into this mysterious line of work.
The word hacker does come with a negative connotation, but companies are hiring people with those skill sets to improve their cybersecurity. Let's learn more about why it's so important. Ivy?
Katie, thank you so much for the speech earlier. Well, actually, I'd really like to know a little bit more about what you do and why did you start this company?
Yep. No, thanks for coming. Very happy to have you today. So, personally, I'm a professional hacker by trade.
Wow.
So currently, I'm running a cybersecurity consulting firm with about 250 people in Hong Kong. So we do lots of things, very complex, but in a nutshell, what we do is to help organizations to uncover their bugs, their cyber bugs. And once we uncover them, we'll fix them.
Wow.
So that's kind of what we do.
I see. What kind of organizations do you work with? Like, is it the small companies or do you usually work with, larger corporations?
Oh, actually all kinds. Actually, I have to say that in the cyber world, no one is left behind. That means once you're hooked up to the internet or you're hooked up to the cyber world, you're subject to hack. Not necessarily a huge company, yes. So as your phone, so as your email, whether it's using like any of your free, that sort of a common email that you're using, you're all subject to that risk. So what I'm trying to say is that we work with all sort of companies, whether they're large, whether they're small, whenever they have need, we'll go and protect them.
Well, what inspired you to start this event and to also found your company?
Our initial motto for this event is very simple. We have done a lot of hacking. We use this experience and we convert that into a lab, like a real life scenario. And then we give it back to the students and ask them to try. Do we want to tell them that you can start young and with the things that you learn now is actually very precious for the future because there's the world is going digital. So lots of new platforms being developed, right? And they need a lot of professions like young students to find bugs. And again, some people might think hacking is negative. Actually, it's not. If you think about it, in order to create a secure system, you have to do hack, fix, hack, fix, hack, fix, hack, fix, hack, fix. You hack, you fix, you hack, you fix. If you do this a million times, what will you get?
Oh, the Great Wall.
Yeah, a secure system. So, that's exactly the motto. So hacking is a very, very important skill set.
I see.
Nadesh, I just want to say thank you so much for agreeing to speak with me. Why is cybersecurity so important?
And cybersecurity nowadays, I think the importance is much more than any other years before, right? Especially with the threat landscape keeps changing on the daily basis.
Yes.
And what has happened is, gone are the days when cybersecurity was only about a virus attack on a PC or on a server and the person just goes and fixes that or resets a password. I think now the threat landscape is beyond that. The attackers are actually trying to get into an organization, trying to steal important data, trying to disrupt your key operational critical systems.
Oh dear.
So it becomes more and more important for organizations to set up a proper and holistic cybersecurity program within the organizations.
How has the pandemic affected, say, the cybersecurity landscape?
When the pandemic struck, it was in one go that many countries started to shut down themselves, their borders. So the impact on the organization was much more, because now there are two things. One is they can't have a BCP site, or the other issue was that people can't go to offices to work. We had to find the innovative ways to keep our staff online and keep working. Now the impact of cybersecurity on that was because with COVID and with work from home, and that became a vector for cyber criminals to get in and impact an organization like that. And the challenge is that cybersecurity is a very niche area. Until someone has worked in that area, until they have gained the required knowledge, right, it becomes very difficult for the staff who's going to want to get into this, and they find it very complex. So there's always that initial restrictions or a barrier that they have to get into this. So, yes, we are facing, and like any other organization, we are also facing shortage on the cybersecurity staff.
David, I very rarely meet someone like you, especially in the tech field, I'm telling you.
Okay, right. Well,
what is your background?
Well, my background is I've been studying computer science in UK a while back. And since I came back to Hong Kong, I've been working for tech companies.
Oh.
And I find it fascinating because there are so many different technologies from all over the countries. And you get to see how different technologies can help different companies.
Yeah, for sure. But you're not the coder, are you?
Well, my first job was actually a coder for a bank. And I think after a year, I have decided to change from coding to a more consulting role. IT consultation is about, you can say gluing different pieces of technology into one. So any company can easily use them. It's very similar to nowadays when we use a mobile phone, you just have an app. Well, actually behind that app, there are a lot of different, IT storage, design processes, but you don't want to worry about that too much. You just want to use it. But nowadays, because technology is getting very complicated, security, again, is very complex.
Yes.
A client can be a C-level from a large corporation government. Well, he or she actually don't want to go into too much details, but how will this affect, let's say my customer? And if my platform isn't the perfect one, how can I improve it? So I think we need more talents to convince customer, not just using, technology, technical jargon, or, very, proprietary terms, but you probably want to use a layman term to explain this. And this is sometimes I would use it, is all these tech companies here are ingredients. If any customer want to benefit from that technology, they need a system integrator to put everything together. It's very similar to going to a restaurant. If, tonight, Ivy, you want to feel like Japanese, you don't want to worry too much about where the fish is coming from or the noodle is coming from, as long as the chef is, making the dish that you want.
Were there any instances where the client simply didn't understand what you were saying?
Yes, well, most small and medium-sized companies in Hong Kong have very limited resources. So for them to understand the complexity of IT, in particular cybersecurity, would be a challenge. So usually you need to work with the right service provider, and with limited budget or resources, the simpler, the better. But in terms of bigger corporation, they usually have experts in every area. So this is usually not a big problem for them.
I see. You won the competition last year. What was the experience like?
I think generally it's very exciting to join this competition. Last year we were in a hotel and they got a sea view, and then my team and I are coding along the sea view for like 9 hours the whole day.
Oh.
We're sitting together, we even skipped lunch just to try to finish our questions in the competition. We got universities from Hong Kong and Singapore joining together virtually and physically. And then they gave us a lot of questions, like some sample vulnerable websites for us to try to hack into, or like some codes that we try to find vulnerabilities inside. It's like solving a puzzle.
Okay, I see. So, well, after you won the competition, what did you get up to?
Actually, for this competition, I was given an internship last summer. I got a lot of experience out of it too.
Well, how did you actually get into hacking?
I actually only started learning hacking weeks before the competition.
What? Really? So basic coding knowledge would simply prepare you for this?
Yeah. Basic coding knowledge, and I think some ideas about how networks, computer networks and websites will do.
Where do you see your career prospects going?
Actually, the last internship experience helped me a lot in understanding what I want to know more. And thankfully, it also leads me to a coming internship in investment banking as a technical job. My future role is going to be helping traders to build applications or like helping them to build some platforms, improve their trading system. Yeah.
Oh, you must be so excited about it.
Yeah, and it's also so thankful to like secure an internship like this early.
Yeah. What was the culture like at your internship?
I think there's not much hierarchy than expected. The managers, the partners are very willing to talk with us, and we can ask them for advice on our day-to-day jobs.
Okay.
And they gave us hands-on experience to work on some kinds of applications as well.
What other kind of benefits were there at the job?
I think it's firstly, it's very flexible, the working hours, like whenever we finish the task of that day and then we can just leave the office. And our meetings are also very convenient as well, as we can meet online or meet physically.
We are venturing further and further into unknown cloud-based territories. As our world becomes ever more digitalized, the IT profession is in even higher demand as businesses and governments seek to protect the public from security risks. It's great to see how we are fostering new generations to face the challenges of tomorrow.